Juggernaut!
Today, we are taking a look at the brand new Executive Replicas Shi by LooseCollector. Thank you for checking out this review. The comic book character Shi was created in 1994 by William Billy Tucci for Crusade Comics. In this review, I will take a closer look at this 1/12 scale action figure and its accessories and comparing it to other action figures as well. Sitting on the Payaso diorama throne, here we have Anna Ishikawa, or the hero known as Shi, a gorgeous action figure done by LooseCollector. It is Shi leaping out of the comic book panels by Billy Tucci. There are new parts and new accessories included in this 1/12 scale action figure, so let's take a closer look. She comes in a packaging with a window where you can see the action figure and some of her accessories. On the side is a variant cover art for She Return of the Warrior number 3. On the back we can see the logo She, comic book art of She, and a brief description of the features of this action figure. Also included is a short bio about She. You can pause it right now so you can have a good read of a background about the character. On the other side is art from She, Return of the Warrior number 2. At the bottom, just a barcode, LooseCollector Executive Replicas. Out of the box, She is held by two plastic shells. You can see the accessories here, held firmly. Comparing to Mafex, Psylocke has several swords while She has two. Psylocke has an alternate head, while She has somewhat a unmasked head wherein her face does not come with that white paint. Psylocke has several alternate hands, a pair of 7, while She comes with a pair of 4 alternate hands. In terms of the sculpt, we can see this brand new head sculpt, well painted, especially with the makeup on the white face, red lips. Her hair is plain black. It is swept on one side. On top of her head, her hair is held by two sticks of somewhat bronze color. On the back, you can see details in terms of hair strands. Really well detailed, especially how the buns or the hair held on top is designed. She comes in this red costume. The costume is based on the 2020 She Return of the Warrior number 1 by Crusade Comics. The lines are well done and sculpted on deep that there is paint on it contrasting the color of the outfit. Attention to detail was done well by LooseCollector, comparing it to Hasbro wherein Spider-Man would have non-painted sculpted lines. Her hand has this sculpted black and gold pieces attached to it. On the other side is the same. Again, this is as per comic book art. For 2020, a new costume piece is added to She, which is the somewhat the skirt covering her backside. So if you lift that up, you can see that LooseCollector still sculpted in the details of her backside and painted it really well. The design of the skirt piece does not limit her leg articulation, as she can move freely even with the skirt piece that is covering her front. Her foot is designed to look like bare feet inside some clothing, sculpted lines as well. This action figure masterpiece should be handled with care. It is not like Marvel Legends wherein even if it falls down or whatever you do, it won't easily break. Be careful with this. This is like Mafex. So now let's go to the accessories. She comes with an alternate head without the white thick makeup on her face, the Oshiroi. The eyes are nicely sculpted with the eyelashes and her hazel green eyes, which actually just looks a little bit blue. She comes with this collar piece attached to her neck. One thing I like is her nose, how sharp and nicely sculpted her nose are. And with that red lips, it looks so good. It would have been nice to have a hair that is not swept to one side, but this is alright. She comes with a open palm hand, so the fingers are just relaxed and there's no expression on this particular hand. The next pair of hands are the more expressive hands. In my review of the Mapex Storm, that figure has several expressive hands. One expressive hand though is alright. Side by side with the relaxed hand, you can see one of the fingers of the expressive hand is lifted up. The third pair of alternate hands is a pair of closed fist punching hands. The sculpted details are consistent with all hands, wherein you can see that black and somewhat gold detail. The fourth alternate pair of hand is the weapon holding hand. She comes with several weapons, so I will demonstrate how each weapon fits into this particular hand, starting with the pair of sai. Here we have it. Looking closely at this weapon, you can see the shiny silver paint. The handle has sculpted lines and the bottom has a gold paint. The next pair of weapons she comes with is a pair of katanas, same length, silver blade paint, shiny. The katana sword handle is red, same as the size, and there are some sculpted details like threads. Finally, the last weapon she comes with is a long naginata, one of Shi's most iconic weapon, a long black handle, and on the tip you can see some gold shiny paint, a shiny silver blade on the other end. Comparing this weapon with Marvel Legends, here we have the recently reviewed Daredevil, King of the Fist. So he comes with this staff with two blades on the end. Shi's is more longer than this. Please handle with care, it is not as flexible as Marvel Legends. Same is true for the pair of sais. Here we have Lady Bullseye with her sai, which is like plain painted gray, unlike she's wearing painted silver shiny. In terms of flexibility, this is how flexible Marvel Legends weapons are. They won't break. Compared to this weapon, I'll just push it lightly because I don't want to break it. It won't like bend like the Marvel Legends one. She grips this weapon really well, unlike the Marvel Legends, which can be a little bit loose depending on the state of the plastic hands of the figure. I will swap the weapons to find out how the size will fit in the hands of each figure. First up, we have the Marvel Legends sai. You can see how loose it is. Like you can spin it around and move it up and down. It will easily fall, unlike the LooseCollector weapon, which is very firmly held. Trying out the LooseCollector sai on Lady Bullseye, it can be a little bit of a challenge for this particular hand. So I'll slide it in a bit and try to push the hand, not the weapon. I'm gonna try to push the hand so it can be in the right spot holding that weapon. It is very tight when a Marvel Legends action figure uses this weapon. Since Shi's weapon is a bit larger than the Marvel Legends one, It feels like when a Marvel Legend holds the weapon, it is huge. The next weapon to compare is the katanas. It is different, especially in terms of the blade. For Lady Bullseye, it's a bit like thicker, and again, Lady Bullseye is flexible. One interesting accessory that Lady Bullseye come with is this pair. Let's try using it for Shi. A while ago, I mentioned that Shi's hands are can tightly hold the weapons. I expect the same for this particular weapon, wherein it would just be held easily. Sh- She is actually just pinching it a bit, and it is tightly held. That would be a cool accessory that you can kit bash with. Especially this accessory has multiple blades on it, so it would look cool. So there, she's just pinching it a bit, and she is able to hold it nicely. Zooming in, you can see how the action figure is able to pinch the tip of this weapon, and it doesn't fall off. I noticed for Lady Bullseye, it is a challenge to keep the weapon on Lady Bullseye's hands, while for She, there is no like problem swinging it around. As you can see, she still holds it well. In terms of the head sculpt design, there is similarities between She and Lady Bullseye. They both have a bun wherein there is a stick tied to it. Different color though, wherein the sticks of Lady Bullseye are raspberry red in color. She is somewhat gold in color. Checking whether you can kit bash and swap over the heads. You cannot because of the different neck peg the two figures have. So I'll try to demonstrate. See, the peg hole of She is very small. You cannot do that. Even if you use blue tack, her head would really be sitting very high. On the other hand, for the head sculpt of Lady Bullseye on the She body, it can rest on the neck. Of course, it is loose and it can easily fall off. So the best way to handle this is adding blue tack underneath so that it can stay firm in one position. Adding blue tack, it now looks better. The skin tones won't match and it doesn't feel right that this head is on this body, but it can work. As you can see here, it is fine. Next up is comparing her pair of katanas with the Mafex Psylocke. The feel and quality of material feels the same. Of course, both are fragile, so don't try to like bend them over. They might probably break. Be careful with handling again these types of figures. They're not Marvel Legends. Silver paint, nice shiny silver. The handles are well detailed for both katanas. Now, let's take a look in terms of height. Whether this She will fit in with your other 6-inch scale or 1/12 scale figures. From the top of her head, not including the hair, she approximately stands under 16 centimeters. The character is meant to be 5 feet 7 inches tall. Here are some Marvel Legends size comparisons beginning with X-Men 97 Wolverine and the Retro Spider-Man. Next up, ladies with sword, we have Magic and Captain Kate. Marvel Legends MCU figures from the No Way Home movie, we have Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. Next, we have Tom Holland, Spinal Swing Suit Spider-Man and Green Goblin. Next, Marvel Legends Lady Bullseye and Bullseye from the Daredevil 3-pack. Next, we have a Hand Ninja and Elektra from the SPDR wave. Next, we have Marvel Legends Psylocke from the X-Men 60th Anniversary 3-pack. And we have X for Psylocke. Next, we have her besides Marvel Legends Silver Samurai and one of the best figures out there, Marvel Legends Spiral. Next, we have her besides Marvel Legends Deadpool and the King of the Face Daredevil. Besides 1/12 scale figures, Mafex, Brown Costume Wolverine, and Gambit. Next, for some larger Marvel Legends, we have the 80th anniversary Hulk from the 2-pack and Build-A-Figure Abomination. 7-inch scale figure Marvel Select the Incredible Hulk. Next, we have masterpieces by the Loose Collector. We have Darna, a Filipino superhero, and Lady Death. These are the three ladies of Loose Collector that I have in my collection. Let's compare the brand new Shi Action Figure with the other two. First up, we have one of the first figures of Loose Collector, which is Darna. So, in terms of articulation, she is far better than Darna with limited articulation. She has a single jointed elbow with a pin, a rather large pin over there, but now Loose Collector has eliminated those type of obvious articulated parts. As you can see here, the bicep swivel is hidden with the sculpted lines of her biceps. In my Lady Death review, I missed out that hidden bicep swivel of Lady Death. Loose Collector has done a great job not sacrificing the look of the figure to add some articulation. This seems to be the reason why the thigh swivel is hidden as well on the boot. It is not a upper thigh swivel. Same is true for She, where on that black lines you can see there is a thigh swivel hidden underneath. This does make the figures look better and still perform the function that it needs. For Darna, it's always a difficulty trying to do a split. I am worried that I might break it, but for She, there is no problems. Probably I should just heat up Darna a little bit, maybe it can loosen up those joints. Next up, we have Lady Death. For Lady Death, the head sculpt is attached to the body differently. Removing the head, you can see she doesn't have a neck peg, ball peg there. It is attached to the head. So you cannot kit bash and swap the head of Lady Death over the body of She. The bicep swivel of Lady Death is hidden between her white skin tone and the long purple gloves. Similar thing with She, wherein the folds of her costume is where the hidden swivel is. Facing them off, even if Lady Death has high heels, She still stands a little bit taller. The thigh swivel is hidden here for Lady Death. Performing a split breaks the alignment of the straps on her underwear. From the back, you can see Lady Death's hair is a little bit longer and is not swept to any side at all. She, on the other hand, has her hair always swept on one side. From the back, removing the cape of Lady Death, you can see the sculpted details. Very detailed. Same is true for She, even with that skirt. Loose Collector still sculpted in the details underneath. In terms of articulation, her head can obviously move from side to side easily, do a 360. Her head can tilt from one side to the other. Her long hair hinders her from looking up, but she can look down that much. She can crunch backward that much. The red part of her costume continues. There is an upper torso swivel right there. She can crunch backward that much, crunch forward that much as well. She does not have a waist swivel. In terms of her arm, she can do a full 360. The shoulder pads hinder a little bit of articulation. She has a hidden bicep swivel right here, which is really good because it's not obvious. She has a single jointed elbow right here, but it does have great range and she can still reach the top of her head. A very good range on this arm, even if it's just a single jointed. She has a wrist swivel right here. She can hinge her hands forward and backward as well. Her skirt is designed with three parts, allowing her to be able to perform a split like this. But the skirt can hinder a little bit of articulation though, but not much on the kicking where she can kick this far. She has double jointed pinless knees and she can kick that far. Again, her skirt can somewhat hinder some articulation, but I'll show you later how we can remove that skirt. As mentioned a while ago, she has a thigh swivel hidden on her boots. Her feet can hinge forward and back, and she has an ankle rocker. Trying to get a classic Perseverance Shi look, it is possible. No need for you to cut that particular skirt. With care, you just need boiling water to soften the plastic and be able to detach the upper torso. Make sure that the skirt is softened as well, and you will be able to slide that out at the moment that piece is getting hindered. When you remove the upper torso, you can see the articulation here, the peg here for the lower torso and the peg for the top. Do not submerge the action figure in hot water for so long, just a few seconds until the skirt is soft enough that it can slide out of the torso. My final thoughts. An excellent work of art by the Loose Collector. This Shi action figure is perfect in terms of how she looks like in the comic books. The attention to detail is exceptional. The sculpted lines, the weapons. I do hope in future Loose Collector will add double jointed pinless elbows. For this figure, I just wish it had a alternate head with a fighting expression or one with the hair not swept on one side. Adding a waist swivel would be nice since it can be hidden in her costume. If you are an in-the-box collector, this figure looks great, especially with the dynamic look of her hair swept to one side and the skirt. I do prefer Mafek's way of using cloth for the skirt, but for this figure, I managed to be able to have her sit on the payaso diorama throne despite of the skirt somewhat hindering a proper position in sitting down. I'm glad to add this to my other Loose Collector action figure collection, and I'm hoping to see more great stuff from fellow Filipino, the Loose Collector. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell.